land judging, you might ask? Well, to many, it may seem like a bunch of redneck FFA high school kids let out in a field with some knives in order to miss school and eat dirt. Yes, that's right, I said eat dirt. Well, trust me, land judging is much more than that. According to Texas FFA, land judging is an FFA CDE event which allows students to compete in order to determine soil and land characteristics, in order to find the best practices to be used on the land. Well, what does this have to do with me, you may ask? As I stated earlier, land judging is a CDE event, meaning that it is a career development event. So it is preparing students for careers in the agricultural industry. The students who participate in this event are the world's next farmers, the next people to determine and make decisions about your fruits and vegetables. They are also the next people to be responsible for deciding whether or not it is safe to build a school, a home, or a business on the soil. Without people participating in land judging and building careers out of it, our world would cease to exist, because soil is truly the foundation for which we live. Moreover, I have competed on my school's land judging team for the past 2 years. So I feel as though by going to many contests over the past couple of years, I am very knowledgeable on this topic. Land judging is an FFA event which many people have not heard of nor know much about. Today I'm going to talk about the 3 main parts of land judging: the types of soil, the slope of the land, and the erosion of the soil. First of all, let's talk about the different types of soils. First of all, let's get this straight. The proper term is soil, not dirt. Dr. Donald McGahan at Tarleton State University once told me soil contains organic matter and clays located on the first layer of the Earth's surface, while dirt is simply the ground on which we stand. Generally, whenever we think of soil, there are 2 main textures that come to mind: sand and clay. When in actuality, there are 5 different types of soils, which are simply mixtures of the 2. According to James H. Stigler, the 5 textures of soil are coarse, moderately coarse, medium, mod fine, and fine. As you progress, there is less sand and more clay, with coarse being straight sand and fine being straight clay. Medium is equal parts of sand and clay and smells amazing, like a freshly tilled garden. In order to decide what type of soil you have, you simply rip it. There's no need to eat the dirt like some people do. All you do is roll soil up in your hand, add a little moisture with the squirt bottle of water, and start squeezing the soil between your thumb and forefinger like so. Depending on the length of the ribbon, you can determine what texture you have. In land judging, there are 2 types of soils you have to texture: the topsoil and the subsoil. Sometimes these are the exact same soils, while other times they are completely different. After determining your soil types, there are other factors that the type of soil can help you with, such as permeability. Knowing the type of soil located in your area can help you in your life too. For example, knowing the type of soil in your yard can help you determine what type of fertilizer to use, or it'll help you determine what types of plants will flourish in your garden and flower beds. Now that we've talked about the different types of soils, let's talk about the slope of the land. According to landjudging.com, finding the slope is just as it sounds. All you're simply doing is finding the decline in the distance of 100 feet on the piece of land. In a land judging contest, there are 2 slope stakes in which you shoot the slope. First of all, you want to get at least 100 feet away from each stake, ultimately making a triangle. Next, you want to determine your position you will use to shoot the slope. For example, there are 2 different types of ways to shoot the slope, either kneeling or standing. I prefer standing. Next, you need to determine how you will shoot your slope, either with your arm, or with a clipboard. I prefer using a clipboard like so. According to the Natural Resource Conservation Service, after you decide how you are going to shoot your slope, you measure across from the bottom of the lower stake to the top of the lower stake. You should measure multiple times for accuracy purposes. After you find where the higher stake hits the lower stake, you will use your clipboard to measure the distance. Depending on your measurement, there are several slopes you can get, such as nearly level, gently sloping, moderately sloping, strongly sloping, steeply sloping, and very steeply sloping. Knowing the slope of your land can also help you to determine the runoff during land judging. Knowing the slope of your land can help you in everyday life. For example, if you are building a home and your land is nearly level, you would prefer to build your foundation up so your home does not flood. Or if your land is strongly sloping, you would need to build your house at the higher end of the slope, so yet again, it does not flood. Now that we've discussed the types of soils and the slope of the land, let's discuss erosion. This is the part of land judging in which you need your pocket knife, as I mentioned earlier. In this portion, all you have to do is simply determine the erosion. And by that I mean, you have to determine where the topsoil meets your subsoil. In this portion of land judging, there's a hole dug by a backhoe that allows for this portion to take place. According to the South Dakota State University College of Agriculture and Biological Sciences, during this process, you simply whip out your knife and start digging on the side of the hole until you can feel a texture change. And by that I mean it either gets harder to keep going or you simply can't go at all. Sometimes this process is very easy because you can simply see a color change. Once you have found where the texture changed, you measure your depth with your clipboard. A clipboard comes in very handy during land judging. Based on the measurement you get, you subtract that measurement from the original topsoil given to you by the people hosting the contest in order to find your erosion. Based upon the measurement you get, there are several types of erosions you can get, such as none to slight, moderate, severe, and very severe. Knowing erosion can also help you in everyday life. For example, you're not going to want to plant your beautiful petunias in a garden in which the soil is going to simply erode away. Or you're not going to want to build your home on land that is going to erode away and not support your house. In conclusion, we have now learned about what land judging is and the process in which FFAers go through in order to successfully judge a piece of land. When everyone thinks of FFA, they think of livestock and milk judging. So I wanted to bring awareness to another FFA event, land judging. I have now informed you on the different types of soils, the slope, and the erosion of soil, the three main parts of land judging. After listening to my presentation, I hope that now you feel like you could join in on the dirt tasting with all the redneck FFA kids.